Hello YouTube, my name's Nero and today we have some Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, another episode of DNA Saturday, which is the weekly series here on my channel where subscribers send me in DNA bombs. That was the great class we're going to be using throughout the entirety of this gameplay. If you guys would like, of course, you can go back and pause the video to get a good look at the class, but keep in mind I will be talking about the attachments and the perks and things like that throughout this video. That's what we do around here on DNA Saturday, right? We like to talk about the Cray class a lot because I know just about every single person watching this video looks at that Cray class and they think to themselves, I would change something about that, or I'm going to try out that class just because it looks like it's going to do pretty well for me, because it did well for that guy, maybe it'll do good for me. Yeah, I know people like to go over that, so we like to go over the Cray classes here on DNA Saturday. The gameplay itself was actually sent in by a guy that goes by the name of NerosCinema. I know, quite the quinky-dink there. We both got cinema in there, but we'll be talking about his channel here towards the end of the video. What we got going on here is a game of domination here on the map Solar, one of the better maps in the game in my own personal opinion. I love the way it's broken down into that 3-lane setup. You got the middle, you got the left, and you got the right, depending on which side you're on, left or right? And it's just a nice map overall, nice, bright, and colorful. I like the way it plays. I like how it really leads itself to be actually a very good map for guns like the ARX, guns like the IMR, because with the by the very nature that it's like this 3-lane setup for a map, you have these people at these longer ranges, right, just way across the map, and if you're good with an ARX, if you're good with an IMR, you're gonna have some fun like we see here in this gameplay. Let's start talking about that Cray class. Let's start talking about this ARX setup, because it's a way different than the ARX that I like to run, not the perks. The perks are freaking, it's scary how close these perks are to what I like to use, but the attachments, ladies and gentlemen, the attachments are what really make this class a whole lot different. So, first and foremost, we're using the ARX Steel Bite, widely considered by most people to be the best variant of the ARX in the game. What does that do, you may be asking? It's going to increase the damage of the ARX by 3, which is pretty crazy. It's going to make it so it does a lot of damage as he runs up and just punches that guy. He punched a lot of people throughout this DNA bomb, to be perfectly honest. But it's going to increase the damage of the ARX by 3, and the only really downside is you're going to lose 1 of your fire rates, as well as you're going to lose 2 in accuracy. And as we all know in Call of Duty, accuracy really doesn't mean a whole lot. The only time accuracy was actually a big deal was when they nerfed the snipers back in the original Black Ops. Because you would aim in with your sniper, right? And you would shoot at a target, and it would not hit where your reticle said that you were going to hit. It was just really weird. It was inaccurate on purpose because they wanted to try and nerf quickscoping. That was the only time accuracy ever really kind of became a thing. Aside from that, guns are basically pinpoint accurate. The only differences in accuracy really is going to be like your view kick and things like that. Like your guns are always going to hit dead center in Call of Duty. That's just kind of how it's always been. So you really get not really any downsides to this besides a slight nerf in the fire rate, I suppose. So it's definitely a very good variant that's going to make the ARX a lot better of a gun. Now, the attachments he's running is freaking weird in my own personal opinion, just because it's so different than how I like to run my ARX. So usually when I do it, I really like to have a quick draw sight on there. I like to have something like maybe a foregrip, and I like to have a red dot sight just for that added clarity that you can get from a red dot sight, where you can just snipe people across the map, because as you guys know, ARX and IMR are just fantastic for that. But we're going with a different approach here. This is more of a close quarters combat style for an ARX class. So we're using a silencer, something I very rarely, if at all, have ever used on the ARX. I don't really like to use it because when I use my ARX, I'm trying to take people out across the map, right? And the silencer's going to detract from that, so I don't like to use that. He's using an extended mag, which is crazy. 60-something round magazine on an assault rifle. That's a burst. It's pretty nuts. It reminds me a lot of the G11 from Black Ops. And we've got the adjustable stock on here. Adjustable stock is going to make it so you can try and win a lot more of those close quarters fights. It's going to make it so you can, of course, strafe and try and outgun people at those longer distances. I think we've seen that a lot in Call of Duty over the years, people going for that kind of thing. We punch that guy right here at the end of the half as we get on the 25 kill streak. I told you he punches a lot of people throughout this gameplay. And while we're cutting through the half right here, let's talk about the perks. These perks are amazing because they're so basic and standard that they can work on literally every class. In fact, just yesterday I posted an SN6 weapon guide, and in that weapon guide I gave you the exact same perk list as the perks he's using for his ARX here. He's actually using low profile as perk 1. Great perk, you can never go wrong with it. Perk 2, we're using blind eye. Great perk, you can never go wrong with it. And for perk 3, the 2 best perks in the game in my own personal opinion, we've got toughness and we've got blast suppressor, right? That's really all there is to this class, unless you really want to count exo ping as the ability here, but we don't really play, that doesn't play too big of a factor in this DNA bomb. It's not going to affect your class too much. He's using the basic standard perks that just make you a better player overall. Having low profile and blind eye up is going to help you so much if you're playing Advanced Warfare, especially stuff like ground war, especially stuff like domination, There's lots of killing, lots of stuff going on. You're going to love having low profile and blind eye on there. And just toughness helps you win so many gunfights. You got blast suppressor on there. It just is the best perk in the game. I've talked about it many times. I won't reiterate it here, but blast suppressor is probably the best perk in the game. If you're not using it, you should be using it. Just keep that in mind, guys. Very, very good. But the DNA bomb is going off here, ladies and gentlemen. That was a very nice ARX kill streak we went on right there. I thought it was pretty good. NerosCinema, I salute you, sir, for sending in this, because it was definitely pretty good. And right here, we see a final kill cam. Somebody's also using the ARX, but this time we're using the hole puncher variant, which the hole puncher is the best variant of the ARX that I have, and it's one I personally rock a whole lot. But there we go with the final score: 60 kills and 6 deaths, 4 captures as well. Just getting so much score, man. Almost 9,000 score. We got 8,200 there, which is pretty good for a standard 6-on-6 domination while just running around the ARX, taking out everybody. Pretty good overall gameplay to you, Mr. NerosCinema. Hope you guys all enjoyed this week's episode of DNA Saturday, and if you did, please be sure to leave a rating where you guys feel the video deserves. And if you guys would like to submit your DNA bombs for next week's episode of DNA Saturday, simply watch the videos on your screen right now. There's an annotation you guys can click, as well as a link to it in the video description. It'll take you over to that video. You can watch it and learn everything you would need to know about submitting your stuff for next week's episodes of DNA Saturday. If you guys would like to check out NerosCinema, you can find them over at youtube.com/commando2233. Now, this NerosCinema, you might notice, also has cinema in his name, similar to mine. I would say he's a mega fan, but I'd even go further than that and say he's probably my #1 fan here on YouTube. I recognize him in the comments of every single one of the videos that I posted on this channel, as well as the videos I post over on my Let's Play channel. It's kind of a mega fan, always has something positive to say, and I look forward to reading his comments every single day. Over on his YouTube channel, over on his YouTube channel, he likes to post up Call of Duty content. Right now, he's posting Advanced Warfare, because, of course, that's a brand new Call of Duty. And he has, of course, been actually submitting a lot of gameplay, a lot of really good gameplay for DNA Saturday and even Chemstrike Saturday last year during Call of Duty Ghosts. But the problem was the quality of his capture card was pretty poor last year. And I told him, like, this is great gameplay you're sending in, but I cannot feature this kind of quality. It was, like, really bad, like, 480p kind of low-end capture card kind of idea. But now he's got a way better capture card, and he's actually submitting some really good stuff here. And I'm glad to feature him for this week's episode of DNA Saturday, because he's got some great gameplay, and over on his channel you can find even more great gameplay like this. He also does things like weapon comparison videos, he likes to cover news, and of course he posts up DNA bombs like the one you guys saw here in this video, so be sure to go ahead and give him a look. I'm sure you guys recognize him from the comments of the videos anyway. He's everywhere, man. This guy is a machine, so go ahead and check him out. I hope you guys will enjoy this week's episode of DNA Saturday, and if you did, please be sure to leave a rating. Hope you guys all have a wonderful day.